Hello there guys, I've got a little bit of a treat for you. This is a downhill skiing and snowboarding game. It is in pre-release. It's supposed to release on the first quarter of 2021, which we're in at the moment, so it should be soon. I've got like the pre-release version. We've only got skiing unfortunately, so I can't snowboard, but I am a snowboarder and a skier, and I can tell you it feels pretty good. So let's get in there, we'll have a little bit of a chat about it. It is called Descent Alps. It comes from a company called Sutor. Now before we get to the slopes, you can see here on this coming soon, there is a snowboard, but we can't buy it yet, unfortunately. So we're on these skis, so we can't have that, but hopefully when they release the game, that will be available to us. Now the skiing, you've got these two tracks, which are tutorials, and then these four. They have said they're gonna add another two and do a little bit of polish and things like that in the actual release of the game, but I hope they add a lot more. 6 is not enough. But even with just these four, I'd pay for it. It's bloody good. So we're going to go through them in order. I'll show you all of them. They're quite short, and they go in difficulty sort of ratings as well. And I'll talk you through the mechanics of how the game works as we're going down the hill. Right, you have to go through the gates, obviously, and try and collect these rings. You sort of hit them with your stick. Right, here we go. You've got to push yourself off to begin with. That orange circle that's in front of my face, that is the direction that I am looking, and that affects the way that you turn. But I wish it wasn't there, it doesn't need to be there. Now these red circles, well, that I'm just about to go through, they give you like a multiplier if you hit them. It's like the sweet spot, it's worth the most points, and you've got to collect those rings. So, go on. Right, get rid of it. So, there we go. You're doing alright. Oh, shit. To turn, you do a combination of a couple of things. You point your sticks in the way you want to go, like this, and you also turn your head, and that will turn you a lot sharper. Now weirdly, if you rotate your body, that works as well. I don't know how that works, because as you know I'm rotating my body. It's kind of like those three things combined that kind of make you turn. And you can jump like this. Yeah, that is so satisfying. Right, it feels, although I've got my legs, I don't know if you can see my legs, I'm not sure if my camera's got my legs in the shot, but I've got my legs quite far apart, which obviously you wouldn't be doing if you were skiing downhill. You'd have them quite close together doing parallel turns, but if you have your legs close together, you do fall over. The game is quite immersive, and you do fall over quite a lot. I've fallen over plenty of times. Oh, we're at the end already. So they're quite short runs. Little ching. Satisfying. Well, you can't really see that one, it's sort of blocked off, but on a couple of the other ones you can look back up the slope and it looks lovely. I really do like the style. It's a little bit cartoony, but that sort of blue colour, I mean look around at the mountains, it's not so much in here, but the kind of blue colour of the snow is very nice. Right, so this is one that's at night time. It's very short and it's just really a dead straight down the hill thing, but it's still quite nice. Let's go. Come on, faster, faster, faster. It's so satisfying. Oh, it is so satisfying. Get that ring. And one. Oh, I missed it. Oh, Christ. Oh, I missed the gate there because I went through the wrong way. I don't know which way you're supposed to go through. I just think it's a case of whichever way you went through the last one, you've got to go through the opposite way on this one. And that's all the points. If you go through, you know, left-hand side of the gate twice, it resets, obviously, just like your slalom works. Oh man, it feels so good. It really does feel good. I'm sure you can see how realistic the feeling of being in the game is by my ability, my attempts to not fall over. You can't really see on that one either. I'm steaming up, guys. Let me just see where I am in the room. Yeah, that's not too bad. I've got that thing on where you look down and you can see your zone. It's quite useful. All right, next up we have Among the Pines. I think this is probably the most difficult one, to be honest. Let's go. You can duck underneath the little branches on this one. Now, unfortunately, if you go through a tree, it doesn't do anything. Like, I'll go through this tree. I don't know if it slows you down a little bit, but it certainly doesn't stop you, and I wish it did. I have no idea what their intention is with that. I hope that trees become things that you're not allowed to just go through. Oh God, it's all over there. I can't get that, it's out of bounds. So yeah, I'm hoping that they make trees and rocks something that you can't just ski through. I think that'd be much better, but at the moment you can. I'm missing loads of them. Trying to get under this. What's that close? I'm missing all the gates. I'm going to have to hit a gate, otherwise it's going to... Oh, fail. Hey, you can jump as well, and I keep forgetting to do it. Right. I did one jump, didn't I, on the first one, I think? I can't remember. Shit. But, yeah, it's a very satisfying experience, but I really do wish that things like this tree and the branches and everything, I wish they were solid so that you genuinely had to dive with them. That registers me, hits me, didn't it? I heard the noise. You've gone really slow. Go on. Right, let's get some more gates. Sometimes the rings that you're supposed to collect are actually out of bounds. Now that is a problem. You can't collect them if they're off the side of the map. And if you go off the side of the map, it doesn't let you. You're not allowed to do that. Oh shit. I think if you miss too many gates and you have too many accidents, I'll stop trying to duck under those trees, because I think if you crash a few times, you've got, although it doesn't tell you have, I think you might have like a life that runs out, like a health bar that you can't see. I'm not sure, but it does seem that if you crash a few times, you definitely get chucked off. So we'll try it a little bit harder this time. Hey John, if you're watching this video, you have to get this. You have to get it. It's going to have snowboarding in it soon. Oh yeah. Right. While we're skiing down here, I'll tell you how I learned to ski. It's an interesting story. Well, my sister used to live in Chamonix. She was like a nanny to people who lived there, so she looked after their kids. But the kids went to school, so as soon as the kids had gone to school, oh my god, yes, we made it. She would go skiing all day. And I went out to visit her. I'd never been skiing or had a lesson or anything. And she says, oh, come on, let's go skiing. And she taught me how to ski, and her instructions were, it was on a nursery slope, which is still quite big really for an absolute beginner. And she said, point your skis down the hill, and when you feel like you're going too fast, just fall over. So that instruction is how I learned to ski. And I put my skis down the hill, and I started going a bit too quick, so I fell over, and it was amazing. I immediately went back up to the top, did it again, until I was quite bruised, and it just felt incredible. And then she said, what was next? I've got to the bottom. Doesn't it look good? Then she said to turn, just sort of skid, like this, and like this. So she was teaching me how to do parallel turns. I hadn't learned snowplow or anything, so I sort of like started skidding sideways. And that's how I learned to ski. And I was a skateboarder already, so I took that logic and understanding the edge of the board and applied it to my skateboarding and started snowboarding. And I went to the Tamworth Snow Dome, and I told them, did we just do that one? We did, didn't we? I told the Tamworth Snow Dome that I could snowboard, and I just went on and practiced and sort of taught myself. And I snowboarded for quite a while, and then I tried to talk my friends into going as well, and they all wanted lessons, so we went and had proper lessons then. But a few of my friends from years ago, I says, I'll teach you how to snowboard, it's easy. We'll go to Tamworth, and we all went, when we got in there, if you know what snowboarding and skateboarding is like, you're either regular or you're goofy. And that is the difference of which foot you have forward. And to find out which foot you have forward, you do a skid. And whichever foot you put at the front, if it's your left foot, you're regular. If it's your right foot, you're goofy. So I forgot to mention any of this to my friends, and we were hiring the equipment at Tamworth. And he says to me, are you regular or goofy, mate? And I went, regular. And then all my friends looked terrified because they have no idea how to answer the question. So they all went, yeah, regular, they just copied me. And we got up to the top and we put on the equipment. They were like, this is backwards, it feels really weird. And I was like, oh, you're goofy. So not only was it their first experience of snowboarding, but also they were in completely the wrong stance, which couldn't have been very good. So I then gave them the same instruction that my sister had given me by saying, just point the snowboard down the hill. If you feel like you're going a bit fast, fall over. You know, it worked for me, so I gave them that instruction. They all followed the first bit of that instruction perfectly, but the second bit, just fall over, they didn't do any of that. They just panicked. And they went from the top of Tamworth Snow Dome to the bottom, crashed through some people, hit the wall, then fell over, and then we all got kicked out. So that didn't work. But yeah, that's how I learned to ski and how I learned to snowboard. So there we go, guys. This is Descent Alps from a company called Sutor. You do have to sideload it with SideQuest. I will leave a link in the description that will explain to you how to do that. I'm not going to explain how you do it. There is a brilliant tutorial that teaches you how to do sideloading, and I'll put that a link to that in the description so you can go and sideload it in. You do have to put your headset into developer mode, which is really, really easy to do. And it's kind of good because you can then you can install on your headset games that are currently in development, and they all have little communities around them, and you can join the community and you can give some feedback and you can help the developers. Now the developers are very, very responsive with your feedback, so you can, you know, steer the development of a game, and I mean that's brilliant. It really helps the community, and also of course you get to see things a little bit early, which is always really nice. So this is on its way. As I say, it is due for release the first quarter of 2021, which we are already in, but I can't give you a more accurate date than that. That's all it says on the developer's site. But yeah, get yourself over to SideQuest and give it a bash. It's very nice. It does feel like you're actually skiing. You've got to have your legs separate. I don't think, no, I've got the camera a little bit too high. But yeah, I'm standing with my legs quite far apart, simply because I just keep falling over. But that sensation of doing this, it totally feels like actual skiing. They've really captured that. And it is very immersive. You probably will fall over. I have fallen over several times playing this game, but it feels good. It's a real easy one to pick up as well. It's not difficult at all. It's very easy to pick up you know, the turning and everything. I don't know whether that's because I'm already a skier or not, but what you do feels very natural. It is really natural. So there we go. I hope you enjoy it. And if you want to find out how you can get it on your Oculus Quest, then follow the links in the description. See you all soon. Take care. Bye bye.